The other set of stocks under the radar are definitely gold loan lenders. And here's an NDTV Profit exclusive. They are on the RBI scanner. The RBI has asked internal auditors to attest if banks and NBFCs are in compliance with the 30th September gold loan circular. Now, like we told you earlier, that there was a circular in September last year, September 2024, that says that banks and NBFCs have to tighten norms on gold loans. Now, there seems to be another query on this. Vishwanath Nair joining in with those exclusive details. Is that what's happening right now, Vishwanath, that the RBI, perhaps with the new governor, has decided to re-look at whether what they have asked for last year is actually being followed?
Right. Good morning, Tamanna. So what the RBI seems to be asking these banks and NBFCs and the internal auditors at these banks and NBFCs is to submit a verification report. So these banks and NBFCs were supposed to submit a compliance report on the 31st of December on the basis of the 30th September circular. And then now the internal auditors have to verify whether that compliance report is accurate and accurately describes all the compliance that is happening in the banks. Now, this is an important move simply because the next step after this is for the RBI supervisory teams to then take action against any non-compliant banks or NBFCs, which may then result in supervisory penalties or business restrictions, stuff that the RBI has been doing in the past. Now, one of the lenders, IIFL Gold Loan, has already been through a process of restrictions from the Reserve Bank of India. What we need to watch out for is whether the industry has learned its lesson and has fixed everything and to the RBI's comfort, or if the RBI finds flaws with the way the banks and NBFCs have acted. It's also important to notice about Sanjay Malhotra, because this is obviously going to be one of the first few actions that he would have led since his RBI governor position. What I would personally look forward to is to see how tough the RBI goes after the compliance report is verified.
Okay. That is the key question. And, you know, the timing of it is also important because, like we were speaking about it a little earlier, Vishy, that right now business is booming. Gold prices are at a high. This is the time when people come and look at, you know, whether they should see some liquidity with those assets that everyone has. Mild downtake on the stocks as of now. Nothing major happening there as far as gold loans are concerned. But if you look at how the markets are reacting, I think PI Industries, like Neeraj mentioned, is one big mover there. I'm really wondering about the sharpness of moves on IT stocks. I mean, yes, the NASDAQ did have a tough time overnight, those cues coming in, cues from the US coming in. But having said that, Chakri, is IT something that you would look at as a rebound candidate? That if you're looking to place positions for stocks that would rebound, would IT companies figure in this list at all? And if yes, which ones?
Yes, indeed. I think IT as a sector will do well. And within that, HCLT, Infosys, and the large cap, they'll all do well, simply because, you know, all the various perceived threats of tariffs and, you know, AI will actually add to the benefit of Indian IT companies' service offerings. Discretionary spendings will come back, are coming back in the US. Valuations for all the IT companies, whether it's HCLT or Infosys, is fairly reasonable. So I think clearly, yes, we would buy IT companies.
Chakri, sorry, just a follow-up on that piece as well, on some of the gold loan companies too. Like, there's a lot of talk, market chatter about a deal in the offing. I would love to know, and we spoke to Muthoot Finance a few days back, very constructive on business outlook ahead was George Alexander Muthoot. And now my question is, are you a buyer into Manappuram Muthoot or whatever else in that space? Very few, of course. Or does the RBI potential actions around NBFCs worry you?
You know, if you look at gold loan companies, one thing as clearly as we discussed, you know, gold prices are at a high, and therefore lending is far more secure than it was before. And provisions for the pure gold loan companies are actually far better. And in the case of the banks who got into this business much later, I think that's where the major thrust of the RBI is on the banks and the NBFCs, rather than NBFCs who do a host of bunch of lending, gold included, versus the Muthoots of the world and the Manappurams, which do largely only gold lending. So those companies, Manappuram and Muthoot, is better placed in this whole gold chain.
Okay. Okay, in a bit, of course, we'll try and get in some details about why PI Industries is looking slightly wobbly, so bear that in mind as well. Chakri, you may not name stocks necessarily, but what is it that you like? I mean, like we said, right, a lot of brokerages are putting out their notes and saying that post the corrective move, there are some stocks which are very good and looking very attractive from a long-term perspective. Anything that fits your criteria?
Clearly, lots of stocks have corrected. Financials have corrected a lot. Many, including State Bank of India, trades under book. Power Finance, REC also trade under a book. And, I think all these companies, with all the kinds of concerns of slowing loan growth, etc., they'll all be a good 40, 50% higher a year from now.